Hey guys. So, I wanted to do a video about responding versus reacting because that's a really important thing to learn, in like trauma recovery and dealing with difficult emotions when you were never taught emotional regulation, like me. All right. So, when I talk about respond versus react, the reaction is the automatic thing. It comes out of your amygdala, it comes from maybe decades to lifelong old triggers that have been built up for years and years and years. Whereas learning to respond is when you take a little pause and choose differently. Instead of like going off immediately, getting mad at yelling at somebody, or just freezing, you acknowledge how you feel and then you choose a different reaction. Maybe if you get mad, you just immediately want to fight back because your fight and flight goes right online. You want to fight. And instead, you just take a deep breath and you turn around and you walk away and you don't argue, with somebody that's arguing you. And I'll tell you, this sucks. It sucks. It's hard. And you're not going to get it every single time. And even if you've been doing it for a while, you're still going to have those moments where you just pop off. And please don't ever let that deter you from continuing to try. Because every time you make a choice to do something different, you're rewiring your prefrontal cortex. Because your amygdala is like your lizard brain, it's the part of your brain that you know, fills you with fear and gets that cortisol going and gets all the stress hormones going. And that's like a very primitive part of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, in here, your frontal lobes and all this up here, right behind your forehead here. This is the part of your brain that gatekeeps behavior and, lets you think and control and make choices. So when you learn to kick in this part of the brain, you can learn to kind of dial down the amygdala. But I mean, there's always going to be the triggers that make it go off, and the alarm bells start sounding, and you have a reaction. And it's not fun. Like I said, it sucks. But you have to learn to make that choice. You have to pivot all the time. You're always pivoting. And sometimes you don't want to. And I get it. Because I have to pivot all the time with my dad. I have to pivot all the time. And it's hard. But in the end, by making these different choices rather than immediate reaction, by acknowledging how you're feeling in the moment, taking that breath, taking that pause, and whether you walk away or just maybe negotiate, can we talk about this later? And, being aware of how you feel, it's a lot of work. And part of the work is learning to be aware of how you feel when you know you're getting triggered, because sometimes it can happen very quick in a very quick sequence. But if you start paying attention and notice maybe your stomach knots up, or your throat feels tight, or maybe your mouth goes dry, maybe your hands get a little bit sweaty, maybe you just start getting shaky and your heartbeat goes faster. You start noticing all these things in your body, and there's a sequence of activation, and it may happen all at once, but when you notice these feelings, that's when you have to take your minute to be like, okay, I have to choose different. Because otherwise you're just going to blah, 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 blow up, and, you know, it won't improve the situation. And it is hard. It sucks. It's work. But I'm proud of you for every time you've done it. I'm really proud of you for every time you've done it. And I want you to keep doing it because you're worth it. And even if you grew up in a household with two emotionally immature parents who never learned to regulate, you still can. You're not a lost cause. But it's hard work and it sucks, but keep trying anyway. Because you will get there. And you won't be perfect. I mean, nobody is. unless you're me. Just kidding. Just kidding. But but it's hard work and you will get frustrated. But keep trying anyway, push through the frustration, even work with the frustration. Be like, I'm going to make a better choice next time. And you may say that 10 times, but time number 10 or 11, you do it and it works. So keep at it. Remember, react versus respond. Okay, you don't want to react, you want to respond. So remember, response is a choice, a reaction is just when you're triggered. So respond and keep going. You can do it. Love you.